This is the plaintiff, Aaron Sacharo. He says he purchased a Mitsubishi from the defendant, and the guy told him the car was in good working order. He promised him the engine was rebuilt and would run fine. Well, turns out the car was a piece of junk. It wasn't even worth fixing, and the defendant insured him about the condition of the car, but it was all a lie. He's suing for $4,000, the amount he paid. This is the defendant, Travis Redden. He says the plaintiff doesn't have a leg to stand on today regarding this case because he was familiar with this car inside and out. The plaintiff knew this was a special project car. He knew all the parts that were in it and all the parts it still needed. He was very upfront with the plaintiff. He gave no warranty and doesn't owe him a dime. He's accused of misleading a Mitsubishi buyer.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff bought a Mitsubishi from the defendant that was a piece of junk. Defendant says he knew exactly what he was buying. It's the case of don't be a little Mitsubishi.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Aaron Sacharo, you are suing Travis Redden for $4,000 that you want returned to you that you paid for a 1997 Mitsubishi Eclipse GS Turbo that you purchased from him, which, according to you, you junked or you had someone else junk. Tell me what happened.
April 6th of this year, I purchased a GST 1997 Mitsubishi Eclipse from Travis Redden for $4,000. And basically, it was a project car.
What does a project car mean?
Okay, like usually project cars are, you buy them and a lot of them aren't running. Some of them are, but most of them, they need a lot of engine work or they need body work or something. It's usually people who take them can customize them or build them the way that they want them to be built.
Okay, so when you bought it, you knew that it needed work.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was a non-running vehicle. This one had an engine.
It was a what vehicle?
Oh, a non-running vehicle.
Non-running. Okay.
Correct. It had all the wheels, though. It had an engine, transmission, many parts that it needed to get it running, and that was basically it. It didn't really need too much. It was about 85%, 90% finished, from what the claims were before I purchased it.
Claims from whom?
From Travis and his brother, John Redden. Travis was the brother of John Redden, who I became really good friends with in September of 2014. I knew John for about a year and a half. And the story is I saw the car for the first time in September of 2014. So I saw it on the side of the road, and I just asked about it. And John Redden was the one who owned it at the time. It's his brother. And he said, this is a GST. It's between, I couldn't remember the exact price.
Wait, did you guys know each other then, or is that how you met?
That's how we met.
Okay.
Very first time, yeah.
Do you have a picture of the car? I have to see what this car looks like.
I do.
So you meet him over the car, and then you become good friends.
Exactly, yeah. That's what
Okay.
happened.
So you guys socialize, like you start hanging out.
Yeah, what happened was he explained what the car was in the very moment. It was between $6,200 and $7,000. So right when he told me that, I said, okay, well, I wasn't interested in buying a car. I was just kind of here looking, at the car.
How much later did you purchase it?
Oh, I purchased it about almost not 2 years later, but like a year and a half later.
That's a long time later. Was that car for sale all that time, or it wasn't for sale?
No, it was sitting for
It was just sitting.
Yeah.
All right. Is it your brother's or is it yours?
It's mine.
Okay. How come your brother had it?
I actually gave the car to him to work on in the meantime, and then he went away, and I took the car back in my possession.
He went away?
Prison.
Okay. And so you took it back. Whose name is it title number?
My name.
Okay. So then have you been working on it after that?
No, I had not even touched the car.
Okay. So how did you two end up coming to terms on the car? Did he come to you and ask for it, or did you go to him?
I was actually posting it online for sale, and he contacted me saying that he really wanted the car because...
Did you two know each other already? Had you met through your brother?
Briefly. I've only met him a couple of times.
Okay, so when you put it online for how much?
$6,500 the best offer.
All right, so then you decide that you want to buy the car. And you guys come to terms to $4,000 for the car. Did you have it checked out by a mechanic before you bought it?
That's when I called. I messaged John. He had just actually come out of prison in January, and he came out early.
And so you contact John?
He was, yeah.
Okay, so was John there?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a mechanic you had look at it, his brother.
Yeah,
okay,
I trusted him.
So you buy it, and what goes wrong that causes you to come to court and sue?
Once it went to the mechanic shop in Hazleton, PA, which I can get into detail with, the parts were not correct. A lot of parts were incorrect.
What does incorrect mean?
Like it was supposed to be a 7-bolt head, but it was a 6-bolt head. And
Do you guys have paperwork from the sale of the car?
yes.
May I see it? What does it say about warranties or about representations of all the things you're saying? As is. That's what it says. What do you believe the words as is mean?
So, come on. $4,000, 20-year-old car, knew something was wrong. Any recourse here?
No,
Oh, come on, no recourse, right?
none. You knew what it was.
Anybody think there's any recourse?
No, buyer beware.
Buyer be super weird. Going inside the courtroom.
As is was the fact that the car wasn't running and that I was selling it in this state, and these were the parts that.
Do you
it
have
needed.
any evidence that would suggest that he told you a certain repair was made and then it wasn't?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
I'd like to hear that now and see that now.
Okay, well, after the mechanic looked it over, I texted Travis about everything. I said you replaced that the car had these parts, and this is what I paid for, and these are all incorrect.
What did he say?
He said, first he apologized, and then he said this was Dogbox's fault. And
This
then
is what?
It's a company that worked on this car in the past that was apparently responsible for a lot of the builds, the building of this engine, to make it worth what it was supposed to be worth. Apparently, he spent over
Let me see
$10,000.
those texts between you and him. Explain that.
Okay, about 7 years ago, Dogbox Racing took the engine and rebuilt the whole thing. And then I took it and I put it in the car, but I never really drove it, so it sat for years.
Okay, so when you tell him what has been done, do you represent that you were the one who rebuilt the engine?
No.
Do you always tell him it was another party that rebuilt it?
Yes, I did not build
Is
it.
that accurate?
Correct.
So you send it to some master mechanic in Pennsylvania who says it's in very bad condition, has many problems. Before towing this back and making any false judgments, would it be okay if I send John's number to him? Just letting you know, you sold me a junk car. Nothing was good on it from the inside out. Had to go directly to the junkyard. Now, why would it go to the junkyard? You paid $4,000 for the car.
The mechanic there told me, first of all, it would have cost me $500 to $600 to tow it back from Hazleton to my house in New Jersey. And I also
How'd you
owed
get it there?
my friend at AAA,
Okay.
and that was the only time I could use it.
So over $500, you left your $4,000 investment where? In Pennsylvania? Just
Yeah.
gave it to the guy?
Well, he didn't
Because
keep
he
it.
told you, oh, this car's junk?
He didn't keep the car though. He gave it to the junkyard because
How do you know?
he told me, and he really needed all my information to send the car to the junkyard.
How do you know he didn't
needed
title
my-
it in his own name or something, or, you know? Did you sign over the title to the mechanic in Pennsylvania?
I did, yes. From the video footage and everything you went over.
I just want to hug you right now and just go like this. Start talking. Explain to me why it is he's not entitled to any reimbursement.
Okay, I have pictures of when it was first rebuilt, so everything is in the car. Also, when you buy a car as is and there is no warranties, there is no list of any parts on the contract at all. So therefore, I believe the claims are false.
What am I supposed to do with the fact that you bought a car as is and you're asking me to order him to reimburse you because he violated a warranty about the condition of the car? The actual selling document says I warrant nothing. I'm sorry, but this is not something where I can order him to return your money on it. I just can't. Not in an as-is sale, which in black and white says as is. It's one of the 20 words on the contract that you signed. Verdict for the defendant. Good luck, folks.
So the plaintiff bought the car as is, and that's the way it is. You couldn't prevail. Do you understand the judge's verdict?
A little bit, I guess.
I mean, you know what as is means.
I do,
right?
yeah, and I
Okay.
researched it before I tried to do anything.
Think you'll ever get another one?
Probably. I'm
Probably?
gonna try, yeah.
Well, good luck. Hope it's a better deal next time, all right? You must sign a few documents. Sorry about this. Here comes Mr. Redden, the defendant. All righty, well, that's it. You should feel pretty good, I guess, at this point.
And no one really feels good when someone loses a car like that.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much, sir. You two must sign some documents. Harvey?
Hey guys, you can only undo this deal if there's fraud, and it ain't no fraud.